Hello. If you're watching me right now, you're actually watching me on a rerun. And yes, thanks for tuning in. Don't forget to get your comment and your reaction. And yes, for June 12th, don't forget all the rest as well. Oh, of course, leave it to me to leave the volumes on. All right, so we're just waiting for the invites to be sent out. Usually they're sent out within about 30 to 45 seconds. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for watching the replay. Make sure, like I said, you don't have to watch the whole thing, but if you do, today's our Tea Time Tuesday and our facts. All right, here we go. All right, there we go. Let's see. We're going to just wait for everybody to pop in and now. So, yes, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to this edition of MFers Live. It is June 12th, 2018. Yes, it is Tea Time Tuesday. Now, I threw it up a little bit. I'm not just drinking, normal bag tea. I'm actually drinking some iced tea today, yes. Sorry, all my England fans out there who all, drink the hot tea. It's just too hot. I have to drink the iced tea today. All right, so I'm going to be drinking my iced tea as we go today. It happens. Hello, Peta. Thanks for tuning in. All right, so we're going to start off like we always do. We're going to do some shout-outs. Yeah, do some shout-outs, yes. Guys, you can actually see the sweat on my face today. Wow. Hello, Timmy. How are you doing, buddy? Yes, there's our jokers on duty. Yes. Okay, you guys ready? All right. So we got Gordon Giles.
Yeah, it is.
We have Dave Dresser. Always going good, buddy. Always. It's all about the peace, love, and positivity. Yes. Like I always try to tell everybody, I try to throw you guys through my own personal experience about peace, love, and positivity, what positivity can do for you. And even when I have negative times, I got to let you guys know about that too, of how I'm able to work through that negativity and still pop a smile on my face. And we just had one of those times on Friday. I ended up going into work super late because I couldn't get to work because I need gas for the car, and I couldn't get gas for the car without my paycheck being in. That didn't go in until like 3.5 hours after my job started. Got to work, worked about an hour and a half, went to come home, and my car died. 4 spark plugs and a coil. And guess what? I still had a smile on my face, yeah. That's good. All right, you guys ready? So we have Loretta Bratton. All right, who else we got here? We got Kim Hunter. We got only 2 more names left right now. Maybe we'll grab a couple more. All right, so we have Nathan James. You want this one? Do you want this one, Nacho? Okay, we'll give you this one, Nacho. Okay. There you go. So Christopher Brockel. All right, there you go, Chris. All right, so see here. We're going to pop out here. Hello, Ernie. How you doing, brother? It's always great to see you. How's little Rexy doing, buddy? All right, okay, so we're going to take a quick. There you go. We'll get you right in there. Oh, there you go. Boom. All right, so this way we can share that off later on and tag out one lucky MFer. Well, actually, it'll be 2 lucky MFers by the time we get to do it. But yes, hello, everybody. Hello, Verna. Thank you for tuning in. Hello, Shannon. Yes, it's always much love out there to everybody. Hello. And like I said, ladies and gentlemen, today is our Tea Time Tuesday, so we have a bunch of facts for you. Yes, we do. But we're going to start it off like we always do. Our good news in history for June 12th. Yes. So 95 years ago today, Harry Houdini himself, yes, Harry Houdini freed himself from a straitjacket while hung by his ankles upside down 40 feet. That's about 12 meters. Above the ground in New York City. Yes, so one of Houdini's most popular publicity stunts. It began as a challenge from police who applied the canvas and leather jacket themselves before he was hoisted up by a crane. He made his escape in full view of thousands of onlookers in about 2 minutes. Yes, he did it in about 2 minutes. Country life, yes. Country life is great, it is. Yes, born a city boy, but the heart of a country. I totally love being out because, it's a good way to be out in nature. It is. Living out in the country, you don't have the hustle and bustle of the city going around. And there's a lot more forests to walk around. So, yes, you guys can actually get your forest bathing on. Yes, hello, Freedom. Thanks for tuning in. All right. And, yes, there is actually a video here for it, too. You can actually learn how he did it by clicking on the YouTube video and reading the summary on Houdini and his straitjacket act. All right, so what else we got here? We got more good news on this day. So Virginia's colonial legislature became the first to adopt a Bill of Rights. And that was back in 1776. Hello, Mary. Thanks for tuning in. Thank you. All right, so the National Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum was dedicated in Cooperstown, New York, back in 1939. And it's still there to this very day. Yeah. So Anne Frank received a diary for her 13th birthday. And that was on this day back in 1942. Come on. Anne Frank's diaries. Come on, I read that in high school. I totally did. The U.S. Supreme Court voted unanimously that state laws banning interracial marriage were unconstitutional. A seminal moment for civil rights in more than a dozen states. And for the couple Richard and Mildred Loving, who filed the lawsuit against Virginia back in 1967. Your roots are country, yes. Yes, my roots are technically country, yes. My grandpa had a farm, yes, and my grandmother did too, yes. My grandparents lived on a farm. It was pretty awesome. Yes, and it was a farm that my grandpa and his brothers built, yes, with their own 2 hands. So, yeah. And you know what? I think I'm going to end up doing the same thing. I guess, I've been doing a lot of thinking. Come on, I'm 38 next month. And I was always sitting there going, I want to own a house. And, I don't want to go buy a house. No. I want to do what my grandparents did. I want to build my own house. I do. Go get a chunk of land and build my own house. And it can be done. And I think that's what I'm going to do. Gives memories to pass down to the generations. I grew up in Albuquerque, Nova Scotia. First kid to skateboard on a dirt road. Now that is talent, buddy. That's total talent. Come on, Ernie. You should be out there skateboarding some more. Come on, Maester Chef has a longboard. Definitely can skateboard sometime. All right. So what else we got going on in the history today? All right. So all right. You guys remember Indiana Jones? Yeah. All right. So the first Indiana Jones. Raiders of the Lost Ark, one of the most popular movies ever made, directed by Steven Spielberg and produced by George Lucas, premiered on this day back in 1981. That just brings back, this reminds me how old I am. I was a year old when that came out. Classic movie, total classic. So in New York City Central Park, 750,000 people rallied against nuclear weapons with Jackson Browne, James Taylor, Bruce Springsteen, and Linda Ronstadt. And that was in 1982. My bad. That was me. Meds, come here. Come. Up. You gotta come here. Come here. Oh, come on, buddy. Okay. Oh, you're gonna make me work for this. There you go. Yes, that was me. See, look. See, that was me. I hit the desk. See, I made the noise. I did. I'm sorry. I didn't mean to make you bark. You gonna say hi to everybody? Are you gonna howl yet for everybody? Oh, do we have to get some howling sounds on? Okay, ready? Go run around. Go get your. What? Where's your hamburger? Go find your hamburger, and we'll throw it. Okay. All right. So Ronald Reagan challenged Mikhail Gorbachev to tear down the Berlin Wall, and that was back in 1987. Queen Elizabeth reopened the Globe Theatre in London in 1997. Where is Ori? Where is Ori when we got a little history for her? Hello, Becky. Thanks for tuning in. So the Philippines, on its Independence Day, celebrated its centennial year of independence from Spain. And that was on this day back in 1998. So that's pretty cool. So it's Independence Day, celebrated its centennial year of independence. So today would be the Independence Day of the Philippines. That is really awesome. That is. Like I said, where's Ori? Ori, where are you? See, every time we do facts on the Philippines, or we get some history about the Philippines, she just pop in. Yes, of course. All right. And Rachel Beckwith, although she only lived to her 9th birthday on this day in 2011, left a lasting legacy that helped to raise more than $1.26 million for clean water. When she learned that people in the world are dying because they don't have access to clean drinking water, she wanted to raise $300 for charity water by asking for donations instead of presents for her 9th birthday. When she died in a car crash weeks later, her memory inspired a flood of inspired action by adults and children worldwide. And yes, there is the full story on Rachel's legacy. Okay, we will actually go read that. We will, okay? But, we'll finish off the rest of our history, and then we're going to actually go read that. Is Ori here? Where's Ori? I don't know where Ori is. I don't know. Where is she? Come on. I know she's been really busy. She's she does wedding stuff now. Yeah, it's pretty cool. I got mentioned in a comment. Well, thank you very much, Renee. Right on, buddy. And yes, on this day in 2010, Major League Baseball rookie baseball player Daniel Nava hit the first pitch he ever saw as a big leaguer for a grand slam. Only the second player to ever do so, driving in 4 runs at Fenway Park for his Boston team. So Red Sox radio broadcaster Joe Castelloni had told him before the game to swing as hard as he could on the first pitch because that's the only first pitch in the majors you'll ever see. And he did. Kevin Kosmenoff, medic, come. Meds, come. Of course, he's going to bark off camera, right? Of course. There he goes. All right, so he calms down. Of course. So Kevin Kosmenoff in 2006 was the only other player to clear the bases on his first Major League Baseball swing. Nava still plays for the Red Sox and hit his second grand slam in September of 2014. It says you can watch the grand slam below, but there is no link for that. There isn't. All right, so we're going to show this off quickly, but you know what, ladies and gentlemen? Oh, I do. I really want to read that story. Because, yes, she shared something, and she did. She shared some donations for her birthday, her 9th birthday. And she didn't get to – she died a couple weeks after that. So, let's pay a little memory to her, and we'll read a story for her before we go do our facts. Hello, Jazzy. Hello. And don't forget, ladies and gentlemen, make sure you tune in. Is it this one? Make sure you tune in this Saturday. Hello, Sully. Hello. But yes, make sure you tune in this Saturday as we're going to. Okay, there we go. We're going to be out in Loretto at the haunted house again. Yes, and I love it. I do. Hello. Oh, Olga's here. Hello, Olga. Hello. But yes, we're going to be live in Loretto, back at the farmhouse at the haunted house. And it's not a creepy haunted house. It's not. It's a very positive energy house. Like I said, I really love it. And it was always said it'd be great to be, invited back. And that's where we're going to be this Saturday. So make sure you tune in, ladies and gentlemen, and tell us what you see. Because the last time we did, those who were tuning in were actually seeing things happening behind Sean and I in the room. So make sure you tune in and tell us what you see this Saturday night. All right. So this story actually goes all the way back to November 4th, 2011. Yes, Good News Network's been around for quite a while. So Rachel's legacy inspires other kids to give. All right, so Rachel Beckwith wanted to raise money for a clean water charity by asking for donations instead of presents for her 9th birthday. Now her death is inspiring other kids to do the same. So a California man who was touched by Rachel's story has started 9th birthday, an online campaign to get at least 300 children to skip presents on their 9th birthday and ask instead for donations to Rachel's favorite nonprofit, Charity Water. So Rachel's heartbreaking story, spread by social media and newspapers, turned her child-sized charity effort into a national phenomenon. So this is a quote. This is a very powerful way to help keep Rachel's story alive and give her gift of giving to the next generation. David Hassan, of the San Clemente, California, explains on the 9th birthday website. Rachel had wanted to raise at least $300 for charity water by the time that she turned 9. Someone had told her that there are people in the world who die because they don't have access to clean drinking water. All right, you have yourself a great time, and thank you for tuning in with us, Freedom, always. So Rachel created a campaign on Charity Water's site to raise money, but she fell a little short of her goal by the time she turned 9 on June 12th, which is today. Today would be her birthday, yeah. So she was 9 in 2011. So that's 7 years ago. So she would have been 16 now. But just a few weeks later, on July 20th, she was severely injured in a 14-vehicle chain reaction crash on Interstate 90 in Bellevue, Washington, actually not far from her home. She died 3 days later. News of her charity wish spread after her death, and suddenly donations from across the world poured into charity water in her name. Rachel's death also helped keep others alive. One of her donated kidneys was transplanted into a California man, who in turn donated to Rachel's cause. By the time Rachel's charity birthday campaign came to a close on September 30th, friends and strangers had raised more than $1.26 million for clean water in her memory. So throughout each day, I look forward to reading your comments and hearing how Rachel's story has touched people all over the world. In this painful time, it has given me inspiration and comfort, Rachel's mother, Samantha Paul, wrote at the time. Knowing that Rachel's decision to give up her 9th birthday will now help save thousands of people brings me to tears. So Rachel's story also profoundly moved Hasami, a 27-year-old web analysis freelancer. This is a quote by him. I read about the story, and it was just one of those things. It really affected me. It really stood out, he said in a phone interview with WSNBC.com. It's just somehow occurred to me that so many people were giving to her thing, and I wanted to do my part as well. I wanted to do something more long-term to help people remember her. So Hasami's 9th birthday charity wasn't affiliated with Charity Water or Rachel's mom, and the website didn't solicit donations. Rather, it encouraged people to get children to skip presents on their 9th birthday and ask instead for donations to Charity Water. So Hasami said he's never met Rachel's family, but was inspired by her legacy. I've seen so much cynicism out there, and just seeing a person so loving at such a young age, it just really stood out to me. So Hasami expects that one day when he has children of his own, they and perhaps millions of other kids will also want to give up their 9th birthday presents. I hope that we might be able to define 9th birthday as a time when kids can donate and think of charity, he said. So Will McNay, spokesman for Rachel's family, said the family was very excited and humbled that strangers had felt compelled to do something in Rachel's memory and spirit. The idea of continuing to spread awareness and education around the lesson of generosity is a fantastic thing, he said. Rachel's family has also started a nonprofit organization called Rachel's Wishing Well Foundation to carry on her dream of helping people understand the importance of giving. Paul, Rachel's mom, plans to travel with Charity Water to Ethiopia in July 2012, the 1-year anniversary of Rachel's death, to actually visit some of the clean water projects funded by her campaign. And that is awesome. That is. Hello, Lydia. Thanks for tuning in. You know what? I'm so sure off, ladies and gentlemen. I am. You know, maybe see if we can do something. Because you know what that is? That's a really great idea. That is. Because you know what? The kids, they've got to be such, the kids, they can go up to you and hand you like, a $25, like, let's say, it's right there, like a 25 cent gumball machine toy, or like a gold bar. To them, it equals the same. Okay, to us, it's not, because one's like 25 cents, one's a lot of money because it's gold. But to a child, it's the same to them. And the gift of giving is always great. It is. All right, so we're going to share that off onto our Twitter page as well, and see what we can do. Maybe we can help her out too. Because, like I said, she'd actually be 16 years old today. She would be. But she's not with us. But her memory lives on, and that is really great. Hello, Andrew. Thank you for tuning in. All right, so we're going to put that back here. We're going to close this, and we're going to open up our news, our facts. So our facts. Not our puzzles, facts. All right, so just wait for them all to pull in here. All right, I got two so far. All right, so we're going to start off with NASCAR. All right. So we just got to wait for it to open. We're going to read some facts on NASCAR. Yeah, our first set of facts. All right, what do we got here? All right, so Bill France founded the company back in 1948, and his grandson, Brian France, became CEO in 2003. The three largest racing series sanctioned by this company are the Sprint Cup Series, the Xfinity Series, and the Camping World Truck Series. NASCAR cars reach speeds above 150 miles per hour, and some are even pushing 200 miles per hour. At 200 miles per hour, NASCAR drivers in 1 second travel 293 feet, almost the entire length of a football field in just a matter of 1 second. On turns, drivers experience between 2 and 3 Gs. All right, so that's up to 3 times the force of gravity with every turn. In addition to this, temperatures in the car often exceed 100 degrees, reaching as much as 170 degrees by the floorboards. Well, it does get pretty hot, right? So stadiums for NASCAR venues can actually hold up to 170,000 spectators at once. This is much more than for any other sport in North America. Of all auto racing, NASCAR is the biggest. There are over 75 million NASCAR fans in the United States alone. Internationally, its races are broadcast in over 150 countries. In 2004, the company holds 17 of the top 20 regularly attended single-day sporting events in the world. NASCAR's biggest race of the year, though, is the Daytona 500. And it's also the first race of the year as well. Yeah, there are actually 8 different flags that NASCAR officials use from the flag stand to control the races and the racers as they drive by. Hello, Christopher. See, I told you it worked, buddy. See, it does again. Nacho's got your name, buddy. Yeah, it does right there. But yes, the only flag that is shown only once per race is the white flag, which signals that there is only 1 lap remaining in the race. Drivers actually can lose 5 to actually 10 pounds of sweat during the race. Oh, maybe I should become a racer. Try to lose some of the sweat, right? Do a couple races, lose the 5-10 pounds of sweat alone, maybe. But if a driver loses more than 3% of his body weight in sweat and doesn't replace those fluids, focus and reflexes start declining. So every aspect of the cars is thoroughly researched and tuned to peak performance and standards. Technicians consider every possible advantage by adjusting tire nitrogen pressure and temperature, driver hydration, lubrication, and pit stop spring time. Millions were spent on motor oil research and development to gain an additional 10 horsepower from the strictly regulated engines. Racing legend Richard Petty won 200 NASCAR races in his career. He won 7 stock car championships, won Daytona 7 times, and is still, to this day, known as the greatest driver in the history of NASCAR. Richard is credited with inventing the window net to help keep drivers' arms inside the car to avoid injuries during crashes, which is kind of smart, right? Because they do have their windows down, and you don't want to be flipping going, woo, snap, there goes your arm, right? So that is pretty smart. That is a pretty cool invention, right? See, Nacho, Christopher's talking about it. Yeah, sweet, totally, bud. The total weight of a Sprint Cup Series car is about 3,450 pounds. The weight includes a 200-pound driver and helmet. So if a driver weighs less than 200 pounds, weights are actually added in 10-pound increments to make sure that all drivers weigh 200 pounds. I guess if I'm going in there, I guess they're going to have to knock out about 50 pounds off that car. Big guy, right? Of course. In 1976, Janet Guthrie became the first female racer to participate in a Winston Cup race. She finished 15th in the World 600 race. She also participated in the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500. No driver has died since NASCAR began requiring head and neck restraints in 2001. So in a race, a NASCAR driver maintains the same heart rate, 120 to 150 beats per minute, for about 3+ hours. As a serious marathon runner for about the same length of time. Yeah. Safer barriers, which NASCAR has installed at most tracks, reduce crash impacts on drivers by 70% or more. Safer actually stands for steel and foam energy reduction. So every driver is medic. Come, medic, come. Hey, no, come here. Look, come here. You're hearing noises outside. Oh, come here. Come. You can read these NASCAR facts for me, bud. Say hi. Look, say there. What's this? If I was a racer, they would have to remove. I know. So they want to make sure that every racer is about 200 pounds. So yeah, we got to spot guys. You could say hi. You could say hi. Say hi. Yeah, say hi to everybody. What are you telling them? Are you telling them facts? What facts are you telling them? What facts? Okay, go. Meds, you told your story. What? Come here. Yeah, gotta love him. He hears noises in the hall and he goes nuts.
It's like stand and see. He's excited to see him.
So he's really excited, of course. And then he's just going nuts in the hall. I hear this every time. Trust me. Every time the original MFer comes down to the studio, trust me, the dog can know I'm outside, and he will bark all the way until even when I walk in the door, he still sits there and just barks up a storm. Well, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. You guys even got some facts, I guess, from Medic, of course. So yes, every driver in Sunday's Daytona 500 must pass a physical and drug test, as well as the vetting process. However, they're not required to have a driver's license. Ooh. Oh, there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Oh. All right, so if you don't have your license, you guys can go drive with us. Oh, yeah. However, though they're not required to drive a driver's license, so that means that somebody could legally drive a race car 200 miles per hour, but not be allowed to drive to the airport after the race. That'd be kind of ironic, especially, say you're the last one to leave. You're like, oh, no. Oh, yeah, you don't have a race, and everybody leaves going, I got to walk to the airport? Because I don't have a license to drive properly. But yes, so there you guys go. If you don't have yourselves a license, you guys can always go drive on Sunday's Daytona 500. Oh, that's awesome. All right, what else do we have here? We still got more out here. That's awesome. So a race car generally uses up to 3 times as much motor oil as your normal everyday passenger car. Also, race cars only use water in the radiator. Now that's it, just water. NASCAR racers do not manage to hold it. Let's try that again. So NASCAR racers do not manage to hold it in whenever they're on the track racing. They just go in their seats. Since you can't exactly go to a rest stop during a race. So before they get out of their cars, they hide the fact that they peed in their pants by pouring water over themselves too. So all those paint jobs are all just stickers made out of vinyl that are applied on the car using a hair dryer. Yeah. So it's just stuck there. It's not paint jobs, just stuck there. Just hair dryer, right? So the whole car is basically covered in a vinyl decal. So obviously a lot of hair dryers are needed to apply the various vinyl decals on the different NASCAR cars. Where else? That's awesome. All right, so that is that's some facts on NASCAR. That's awesome. All right, so oops, where'd it go? Oops. Open back up my Gmail. What else do I have here? Oh, okay. So it's not another fact to go. Okay, so we're gonna do some more shows, okay? Because we have hit our half-hour mark. All right. See, we're gonna grab a little bit more this time. We're gonna grab a little bit more because it was only a small one. I look at that one. I dropped one right away. All right, so we got Derek M. Oh, there we go, Derek. All right, we have Jessica Gritson. She was actually live earlier, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, she's kind of like a DJ. Yeah, she's really good at it too. All right, who else we got here? We got Ken and Kelly Grant. There you go. We have Charlene Pratt. Right on. And then we have got another one here for Ken and Kelly Grant. There you go. It's hard to say, dear, because it's a couple of Ken and Kelly. They both share the same account. Can't really say dear, so yeah. Guys, girls, couples, lovelies. All right, so we have Suli Zohan. I know Suli was in here earlier. I know she was. All right, and then we have Yvette Prince. There you go, Yvette. What else we got? We got with Kim Hunter. See, I got myself a nice little handful here. Look, I'll even pull from here. What's this one? We have there's one of there's the DJ that took the stage for us at our birthday bash. Ryan Clark. There you go, buddy. All right, and then we got Becky Pfeiffer. What else we got? We got a whole bunch. Okay, we got Ms. Robson all the way from Australia. Yeah. All right, what else we got here? We got this is one of our truck drivers, Stefan Franchetti. Oh yes. What else we got here? That one, of course, they're all popping upside down now, right? Our one and only Riff Raff Dylan Wheeler. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys remember ever getting notifications that Michael Klotz has gone live. Not at Memphis Live, but Michael Klotz has gone live. I always used to jump into his little live feeds. And we're joking around with him, but because he wanted to get a face tattoo done. And we're like, oh yeah, we'll get this, but you gotta get this style tattoo. He did. He went out. If I'm correct, it's like this side. It's like right here. He's got a tattoo. Right on, bud. But yeah, we didn't have to pay for it. So he picked his own design for that one. All right, so we have Jen Jofield. There you go, Jen. Hello, Jen. Whenever she gets in here, there's Timmy playing. There you go, brother. All right, who else we got in here? We have I got a double here. I saw it pop up. All right, so maybe go this way. Actually, see, look, I'll even have the handful in my hand. See? So we have Yvette Prince, double shutout, right on. And then look, who else we got here? We got Ariel Alyssa. And then we have Rich Nelson. Oh, wow. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about that. Richie, didn't mean to sneeze anybody. All right, so we have Loretta Broughton again. What else we have? We have Gordon Giles. There you go, buddy. All right, we're getting there. We have another one for Jen Jofield. There you go, Jen. And then we have Calhal Felix. There you go. All right, so our last one. Okay, I got to take Christopher's name away. I know you're so proud because Christopher actually popped in, buddy. I know he did. All right, so we're going to put this one down here. And our last one is for Mike Arnold. There you go, Mike Arnold. Right on. So we're going to sit here. We're going to stick that right to Nacho's forehead. Okay? And then we're going to sit here. We're going to quickly get a photo for Nacho. We're going to get a photo of Nacho. Here, you want to get the original MF for everybody? Try to make sure I make my face. All right, I think that'll. And we got it. We did. We still got that shot in there. We did. Right on, Nacho. Good. You stayed still. I messed up. I did. But we did get the photo. We did. And we will share those after tonight's stream. We totally will. All right. So what else we got here? We got, Stan Lee. Oh. All right. So there's one cup of iced tea. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, yes, it is Tea Time Tuesday. And we do always drink tea, and we're always supporting our tea. But I just couldn't go hot tea today. It was so warm. It's so hot. And it's like I said, it's pretty warm in the studio time, so we're going to chill this out. But we're drinking ourselves some iced tea. Because technically it is still tea. It is. It's just cold. All right, so we're going to do some facts on none other than Stan Lee. All right, now for all my Comic-Con fans out there, you guys should know who Stan Lee is. Come on. All right, so born Stanley Martin Laber was born on December 28th, 1922. And guess what? He's still roaming around. 2018, he's still roaming around. 96 years old. 96 years old. And ladies and gentlemen, seriously, go check out was it Thor Ragnarok? Go check out Deadpool. Go any of the Marvel movies. Guess what? Stan Lee's in there somewhere. He does. That's the real cool thing about it. You actually see him make cameo appearances in it. But he totally deserves it, though. Totally. Hello, Christine. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So he was born in New York City in the apartment of his Romanian-born Jewish immigrant parents, Celia and Jack Laber. But he was American-born. He was. His parents were Jewish immigrant. Romanian-born Jewish immigrant parents. But he was born right in New York. So, he is American because he was born in American soil, right? And he was at the corner of West 98th Street and West End Avenue in Manhattan. Wow, that's getting right into details. That's almost like me. Oh, where are you born? Hamilton, Ontario, Masters? Hamilton and Masters? It's about the closest I can get to you. I don't know what the corners are of those ones. All right. So his father trained as a dress cutter, worked only sporadically after the Great Depression. And the family moved further uptown to Fort Washington Avenue in Washington Heights, Manhattan. So when Lee was nearly 9, his only sibling brother, Larry Lieber, was born. So he said in 2006 that as a child, he was influenced by books and movies, particularly those with Errol Flynn playing heroic roles. So by the time Lee was in his teens, the family was living in a one-bedroom apartment at 720 University Avenue in the Bronx. Wow, they got to hand it out to Maester Chef this time. He got right into detail for this one for us, right? Exactly where he was living at the time. 1720 University Avenue in the Bronx. What, you going to come back now? What? Are you just being a suck? Of course. Gotta leave Medic because now he's just being a big time suck. All right, so what else have here? All right, so Lee has described it as a third-floor apartment facing it back. With he and his brother sharing a bedroom and his parents using a fold-out couch. Those fold-out couches rock. I love the fold-out couches. Because, it's the easiest way. You just pull out the bed, sleep, wake up in the morning. You don't even have to make the bed. Just close the bed up, push it back in, put the cushions on. Nobody even know. It's like I said, it's the easiest way to clean. Easiest way you don't have to make it. Lee also attended DeWitt Clinton High School in the Bronx. In his youth, Lee enjoyed writing and entertained dreams of one day writing the great American novel. So he has said that in his youth, he worked such part-time jobs as writing obituaries for a news service, and press releases for the National Tuberculosis Center, delivering sandwiches for the Jack May Pharmacy to offices in Rockefeller Center, working as an office boy for a trouser manufacturer, ushering at the Rivoli Theater on Broadway, and even selling subscriptions to the New York Herald Tribune newspaper. So he graduated from high school early at the age of 16 and a half back in 1939 and joined the WPA Federal Theater Project. So he became an editor at Timely Comics back in 1941. Timely Comics would eventually be renamed Atlas Comics in the 1950s and was rebranded as Marvel Comics in 1961. So with the help of his uncle Robbie Solomon, Lee became an assistant in 1939 at the new Timely Comics division of Pulp Magazine and comic book publisher Martin Goodman's company. So Timely by the 1960s would evolve into Marvel Comics. Lee, whose cousin Jean was Goodman's wife, was formerly hired by Timely editor Joe Simon. So in collaboration with several artists, including Jack Kirby and Steve Ditko, he created Spider-Man, the Hulk, Doctor Strange, the Fantastic Four, Iron Man, Daredevil, Thor, the X-Men, and many other fictional characters, introducing a thoroughly shared universe into superhero comic books. In addition, he challenged the comics industry's censorship organization, the Comics Code Authority, forcing it to reform its policies. See, there's something every day, right? Lee successfully led the expansion of Marvel Comics from a small division of a publishing house to a large multimedia corporation. He was inducted into the comic book industry's Will Eisner Award Hall of Fame in 1994 and the Jack Kirby Hall of Fame in 1995. Oh, excuse me. Lee received a National Medal of Arts in 2008. Lee was also raised in a Jewish family. In a 2002 survey of whether he believes in God, he stated, "Well, let me put it this way." There was a pause. No, I'm not going to try to be clever. I really don't know. I just don't know. Great answer, buddy. That's an awesome answer. So he married Joan Clayton Bucock on December 5th, 1947. And in 1949, the couple bought a 2-story, 3-bedroom home. Wow, right into detail. So yes, the 2-story, 3-bedroom home at 1084 West Broadway in Wedmere, New York, on Long Island. Living there all the way through 1952. So their daughter, Joan Celia, also known as J.C. Lee, was born in 1950. Another child, Jan Lee, died 3 days after delivery in 1953. So the Lees resided at 22 Richards Lane in the Long Island town of Hewlett Harbor, New York from 1952 all the way to 1980. They also owned a 2-bedroom condominium on the 14th floor of 220 East 63rd Street in Manhattan from 1975 to 1980. And a vacation home on Cutler Lane in Rosenberg, New York. Wow, you own a lot of properties, right? So for their move to the West Coast in 1981, he and his wife bought a home in West Hollywood, California. Previously owned by comedian Jack Benny's radio announcer Don Wilson. In late September 2012, Lee underwent a surgical operation to insert a pacemaker into his body, canceling planned appearances at conventions. So Lee's favorite authors include Stephen King, H.G. Wells, Mark Twain, Arthur Conan Doyle, William Shakespeare, Charles Dickens, and Harlan Ellison. So when Spider-Man married Mary Jane in 1987, Marvel held a publicity event at Shea Stadium in New York, featuring actors dressed like Spider-Man and Mary Jane, and Stan officiated the wedding ceremony. That's awesome. And yes, in 1998, Stan signed a lifetime deal with Marvel Enterprises, Inc. The contract only requires that he spend 10% of his time with the company. All right. So in a 2012 Reddit Q&A thread, he told a fan, "I don't have any spare time." Excuse me. Yeah, so I guess he told a fan, "I don't have any spare time." So it is no secret that Stan has cameo roles in many Marvel movies. But did you know that is actually part of his contract? Yeah. So there's actually a special clause in the agreement that specifies that Stan must appear in any film based on one of his characters. In 2008, George W. Bush presented Stan with the American National Medal of the Arts. In 2012, he co-wrote a New York Times best-selling graphic novel for 1821 Comics called Romeo and Juliet, The War. Stan Lee is also a playable... Oh, that is awesome. All right, so any gamers out there, here's one for you. All right, Stan Lee is a playable character in the downloadable content for the 2012 video game, The Amazing Spider-Man. There you go. There's a little Easter egg for you. If he could be one Marvel superhero villain, Stan has said that he would want to be none other than Dr. Doom. Dr. Doom. All right, so Stan's trademark catchphrase, Excelsior, means ever upward. Excelsior? Is it? Excelsior, which means ever upward, is also the New York State motto as well. That's kind of funny. Stan is also the recipient of the 2,428th star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And it's actually located at 772 Hollywood Boulevard in front of the Live Nation building. There you go. All right, so do we have any more facts on the go in here? Let's see. See if it's going to work with us. All right. So we do have more facts coming in. All right. So let's see. Nick Boss, how you doing, buddy? Just like Sauce Boss. Nick Boss in the house. Yeah. All right, you guys ready for this? We got some facts on the Queen. Yeah, if you're wondering, now you're going to sit there wondering, which queen? Is he talking about the queen from, like, England? Is he talking, what kind of queen is he talking about? Is he talking about Queen Group? Talking about Queen. All right, so she was born at 2:40 a.m. on April 21st, 1926, at 17 Burton Street in Mayfair, London. She was christened Elizabeth Alexandria Mary at Buckingham Palace on May 29th, 1926. So Elizabeth was named after her mother. In 1930, then Princess Elizabeth's sister Margaret Rose was born. So when King Edward the Eighth abdicated the throne to Mary Wallis Simpson, Elizabeth's father became King George the Sixth. So after the 1936 abdication, the Princess Elizabeth became first in line to the throne. Yeah. So during World War II, Elizabeth and sister Margaret moved to Windsor Castle for their safety. She was also educated at home. Really? So she got homeschooled. So there's something new, right? She studied constitutional history and law, preparing for her future role as queen. She was also instructed in religion by the Archbishop of Canterbury. Queen Elizabeth II, to mark 90th birthday on Thursday. Princess Elizabeth and Prince Philip met actually at a wedding in 1934. She actually learned how to drive in 1945. These are just random facts, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, just random facts about the Queen. Hello, Melissa. Thanks for tuning in. All right. So Elizabeth and Philip, the Duke of Edinburgh, were married at Westminster Abbey on November 20th, 1947. So for a while, Elizabeth and Philip enjoyed a somewhat normal existence in Malta between 1949 and 1953. So normal existence for like 3 years, right? Philip was actually an officer in the Mediterranean fleet. What else? Is that all? So yes, this is there. So like I said, there's some random facts on the Queen. And this is just, this don't work. Okay, you know what? I'm not going to fight with this. I'm not. So, we got time. Okay, I'm going to see if we can find a positive story. Where did we leave off? All right, so there's our good news. You know what? I actually heard this one on the radio, and I'm going to read this one. Because this is a really, really nice story. This is for all the Pitbull fans out there, okay? Oh, this is all for you, okay? So while Pitbull is rescuing family from house fire, she pulls baby to safety by her diaper. Yeah. So an 8-month-old Pitbull named Sasha is being hailed as a hero after her actions helped to save her family from a house fire last week. So Sasha's owner, Nana Chechanahada, I hope I got that right. Hello, Kat. Thanks for tuning in, dear. It's always great to see you in here. Was actually fast asleep in her Stockton, California housing complex when the pup started to cause a ruckus at the back door. So bewildered by the dog's sudden outburst at 11 p.m., she went to let the dog inside. Where's it here? So this is a quote by her. I open it and she runs in and starts barking at me like crazy. And I was like, okay, this is weird. This is not like her. That's what she told Fox 40. So Sasha immediately ran inside and went straight to the room of her 7-month-old baby, her 7-month-old baby daughter, Masalaya. So more importantly, however, the dog's barking alerted her to the fact that the neighboring house was on fire. So since she lives in a fourplex, the blaze was quickly spreading to her own home. The 30-year-old mother ran back inside to get her child, only to find that Sasha was way ahead of her. The pit bull was trying to pull the baby to safety by her diaper. So thanks to the dog's quick actions, the family was able to escape the house, wake up the neighbors, call 911, and get everyone to safety. Though her home has been declared uninhabitable, her sisters is now raising funds for the family on GoFundMe page while she stays at her aunt's house. This is her quote. I owe Sasha my life and my children's. So she actually wrote on the campaign page. She saved us all. She's our hero. Without her, we probably would have never made it out alive. And that is pretty cool. Hello, Kim. Thanks for tuning in. And you know what? You missed some good facts. We did. We did some cool facts on NASCAR. We had a lot of facts on NASCAR today. But yes, I actually heard that on the radio today. So yes, a little 8-month-old Pitbull. You know the dogs that they're trying to put down? You know, saying that they're too vicious? A Pitbull. Okay, saved a little girl's life. Yeah. Saved a little infant's life. It saved the lives of basically everybody there by being persistent and barking loud enough so that everybody could hear, waking up her owners to be able to get to the neighbors and to call 911 and make sure everybody got to safety. Oops. I shared that one. Oops. I meant to tweet this. Oops. Okay, we're going to try to tweet this one out. Sorry, my bad. And I got time to do another quick one. Woo woo. Yeah, right on. All right, so what else we got here? All right, what else we got here? So, all right, we're going to have to do this one because I think this is on Domino's. I believe it's on Domino's. Let's get Domino's. All right, so pavingforpizza.com. So, pizza chain is fixing streets and filling potholes all across America. Domino's Pizza is working to smooth American roads for their delivery drivers so that their pies don't get roughed up on the ride to the customers' homes. The company has been filling in cracks and potholes across the U.S. for their Paving for Pizza initiative, based on a series of nominations that were submitted to their website. They have already started paving roads in Burbank, California, Bartonville, Texas, Milford, Delaware, and Athens, Georgia. That's awesome. So even though reinforcing crumbling and fractures does not seem like the kind of work a pizza restaurant should be doing, their reasoning seems pretty sound. So this is a quote. Okay, this is them quoting. Let's just get this up here. Okay. Potholes, cracks, and bumps in the road can cause irreversible damage to your pizza during the drive home from Domino's, said the website. We can't stand by and let your cheese slide to one side. Your toppings get untopped or your boxes get flipped. So we're helping to pave in towns across the country to save your good pizza from these bad roads. So according to city officials, the assistance has already been gratefully received too. This unique, innovative partnership allowed the town of Bartonville to accomplish more pothole repairs, said the city mayor, Bill Schreier. So following a winter that was harsh on their roads, the Milford city manager added, "We appreciated the extra paving for pizza funds to stretch out street repair budget as we addressed more potholes than usual." So if you'd actually like the Paving for Pizza initiative to come to your own town, you can nominate it on the Domino's website. So if your town is selected, you will be notified, and the city will receive funds to actually help repair those roads. Now, I don't know. I think might have to nominate Guelph. A lot of potholes in Guelph.
You still have one more fax, did you?
I still got another fact. Oh, okay. We're gonna check to see if that will actually open up. Oh, we got time for it. Oh yeah, of course. All right. So we'll see here. So we got to share this off. We're here. We'll tweet this off. All right. So let's tweet off and see if we can get to that fact.
Trying to jip everyone.
I'm not trying to jip anybody. I'm not. Let's see. Where is the fact?
Trying to jip people on their facts. Jesus.
Oh, there we go. There we go. All right. So we have. I can't. We've already done these facts. Yep. We did. Facts on Bill Nye. Because that's when we started. That was when we started to introduce, in the words of Bill Nye, help save the world. So I didn't jip anybody. I swear. I'm all good. It didn't come in at first. It wasn't popping open.
You're a jipper.
I'm not jipping anybody. Not jipping anybody. It's all good.
Jipper.
No, that's all good. But yes, we try not to repeat facts for you, ladies and gentlemen. We try to bring you guys always new and interesting facts best that we can. So what do we have? Do we have time? We have time. All right, I've got to read this one because, what? It's about peace. It is. It's all about peace. All right, that's about photo. All right, so more peace than ever in Iraq. Incredible 80% drop in violence, even during Ramadan. So in an exciting new series of reports from the United Nations, violence in Iraq is declining at a rapid rate, even during the holy month of Ramadan. The data, which was released by the United Nations Assistance Mission for Iraq, and the Iraq Body Count database earlier this week, says that civilian deaths have fallen by a staggering 80% since the same 5-month period from last year. So not only that, the amount of wounded civilians have actually fallen by 68.4%. And the amount of civilian deaths related to political or religious violence has decreased by more than 76.4%. So while national violence has steadily been declining since it hit a peak in 2014, this is the lowest amount of civilian deaths that the country has witnessed since 2003, according to the Statista. That's what it's called. No, it's called Statista. 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 Yes, that's what it says. But the AFP goes on to say that in May, the country even managed to hold preliminary elections without any major reported security threats. Additionally, the holy Muslim month of Ramadan, which started in mid-May, has not witnessed any major violent incidences, a first for the country in recent years. The sudden drop in violence is credited to Iraq's declared victory over ISIS forces back in December. So that's awesome. That is right on. So we're going to share that out. And yes, we are coming to the end of our show, ladies and gentlemen. We are. All right. I know I have people just sending me messages. I can't check them. I will deal with them as soon as I'm done. I promise. All right. So we're going to send this off. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, we are getting to that time. So to the one out there, I know that you do watch. You may not comment. You may not react. It's all right. I always try to get everybody interacting with us so we can all get involved and have a good time. But always remember your time. And I want all my efforts to know I love each and every last single one of you. Because without any of you, MFers Live wouldn't be where it is today, and all the really cool things that are going to be coming our way throughout the rest of this year. It's going to be awesome. And don't forget, make sure you tune in this Saturday live when we go live in Loretto at the Haunted House once again. So make sure you tune in, all right? Don't be creeped out going, I can't watch because it's scary. Trust me, nothing's scary about this place. It's a very beautiful place. But we sit, I imagine we're going to probably sit in the same spot. We're going to have the door behind us. I'm going to see if Sean will come guest with us, and you guys can watch that door behind us and tell us what you see, all right? So make sure you tune in and type to us what you see, all right? And just keep us surprised. Because we're going up for another investigation. Woo-woo. All right, so yes, make sure you tune in. Tomorrow we're going to have our positive news stories all stream long. All right, so remember, same MF for Tad, same MF for channel. Keep spreading the peace, love, and positivity. And yes, if you're watching me live right now, wait. All right, so if you're watching me live right now or you're watching me on a replay, always remember those 2 words, okay? If you can't say it to yourself, come pop on my show, okay? And if that's not good enough, reach out to me. I will tell you personally. Always remember, ladies and gentlemen, that you, yes, you matter, okay? And yes, you do, okay? Always remember that you matter. In the words of Bill Nye, let's help save this world. And you know what? All we have to do is have a little bit of that peace, love, and positivity, y'all.